think you're muted.
Hey everyone, welcome. I'm Nick Kalyani, the founder of the NftyDreams DAO, and I'm super excited to be here today with the founder and CEO of Diverge Sneakers, Joao Esteves. Hi, Joao. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Nick. How are you?
I'm doing really well. It's a nice day in the Bay Area where I am today. It's a bit cloudy, but no complaints. I have been very excited and anticipating this conversation for quite a while now, and I'm super excited that we can actually have it today and tell everyone about the amazing things that you're doing and that we are going to do together, and hopefully change the world for artists. So why don't we just start off with some quick intros, if you will, Joao? Why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll take it from there.
Okay. First and foremost, thank you for the opportunity. It's a pleasure to be speaking here with you and talk about our partnership. My name is João. I'm Portuguese. I'm actually right now in Lisbon, Portugal. So it's a nice sunny day here as well. I'm 46 years old, and I've basically had a career around FMCG in marketing and management roles through several industries, from Lego and toys to beer to soft drinks. And the last one I had was in sports retailing, which kind of inspired me to start Diverge, which I started with an esteemed group of friends around 3.5 years ago.
That's great. So, I guess your company has grown significantly since then.
Yeah, we launched commercially in end of 2019. Okay, our objective, how it started, it was basically we saw an opportunity in the, let's say, the tail of the athleisure phenomenon, right? I thought that now that we are all able to wear more casual clothes, there was this casualization of fashion, and that sneakers play such a key element in that choice of fit, of outfit. I saw a huge opportunity. I thought, if everyone is going to start wearing these and the offer in the traditional shops keeps being like those 20, 30 pairs that the brands launch every season, we're going to be starting to look all the same, right? And we wanted to create a brand that gave you the power to design something that is representative of who you are, what you like, your personality, your vision of the world. So we decided to create this lifestyle brand that empowers every individual through self-expression, allowing them to customize their sneakers with us while promoting environmental and social impact, which we can talk about as well. In the last 2.5 years, we have been trying to expand. We're still a small setup, but right now we're selling already in 65 countries. And we look now to further develop our operation in those key markets and grow the brand, give it awareness, but also, as we're going to be also talking about, use the tools that Web3 brought about to really fulfill the promise that we had for the brand 3.5 years ago.
Wow, 65 countries. That's pretty impressive and amazing. A lot of people who know me or have met me in person, etc., know that I always wear red sneakers. That's sort of my trademark kind of brand thing. But I'll tell you what, after spending some time on your website and looking at what we can do there, I really am drawn to it. So I'm going to actually share my screen here, and let's take a quick peek at that. Let's see. Here we go. Boom. All right. So there we are at diverge-sneakers.com. And so you basically start off, you hit shop now, and you can just create your sneaker. And it's actually create your sneaker NFT. So we'll get into that in a little bit. But basically, as I understand it,
yeah, you can go to featured, create yours. Yeah, for example.
Create yours. Yeah, right here. Okay.
Yeah, we provide several colorways inspirations, but we can also start from what we call a white canvas, right?
Wow. Look at, like, so you have.
So you choose the style.
Yeah.
You can choose the style that you like the most, and then as you press in any of them, you can then, for example, you can press that one. You can press customize. You can choose size and so on, and you can press customize, and you start playing with the options available.
Look at that. That's so cool.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, how long did it take
Yeah.
you to like? I'm gonna try and make a red shoe. Uh, wow. Look at that. That is so cool. Maybe I'll live a little. Maybe I'll live a little, and put like a yellow panel.
Yeah, that's
This
the
is great.
beauty of the concept, is that we really can have people explore and find the right combination of colors and style for them. We even allow you to actually also write something that is personal to you.
And where is that? Back here?
It's
Yeah.
in the symbol, yeah. Basically, we are called Diverge out of a poem from Robert Frost, an American poet. That it's the road not taken, where he talks about going into the less traveled by road in the forest. So there
Yeah.
are
Yeah.
two roads diverge into the woods,
Ah.
and we decided to call Diverge because of that poem. And the symbol is this incomplete I from the English language. So I am something. And we decided to elect it as our symbol, and we basically, it's our way of showing that we were born decentralized, in the sense that we allow you to write something in the middle of our symbol to close it and to make it your own.
To complete it, so that
Exactly.
it's us and you together.
Exactly.
I love that. That is brilliant. Uh, so this looks like, I have used a lot of web UIs. I've actually built a lot of web UIs, and this is really high quality. I mean, the experience here is straightforward, very simple, and something that is actually pleasing. I take it this has evolved over time. It's not like an overnight kind of thing, right?
No, it took an effort, and to be honest, there's still we're always a work in process, right? We're always developing, and I think the challenge for us going forward is to even improve the quality of the 3D, so you have a more accurate expectation of what you're going to get. There, we're always working and trying optimizing the experience, and to also, let's say, avoid a bit of decision paralysis that one might have once playing with a lot of options. The more accurate we can make the 3D look like the final sneaker, the more confident you'll be of exactly choosing what you're going to get.
Okay, so I'm a software guy, all right? So I know this part. This part I get. Now, I'm add to cart, and
Yeah.
then I will pay for it and I check out. What happens after that? What goes on there?
Absolutely, and that's where our environmental impact approach kicks in. So we only make to order, right? So we only produce what we sell. One of the key problems of the fashion industry, of course, one of the most polluting industries in the world, around 10% of its waste is actually due to overproduction. So articles that are produced and then don't get sold and get shipped around from store to outlet, from warehouse to whatever, and well, end up being either destroyed or thrown out, like we've seen recently a few months ago, pictures of the Atacama Desert in Chile full of destroyed product. We didn't want to be a part of the problem. We wanted to be a part of the solution. So even, of course, customization, we need to start making them once we get the order, but we also offer colorways to make it easier for customers. And even those colorways that you can see on the website, you actually cannot, we don't allow to have stock. So we have to make every pair we sold from scratch. We get the order, and it takes us around 15 days to produce them in Portugal, to craft them in Portugal in ethical workshops that we work with. And basically, what we do is we carry a stock of materials, and as the order comes, we pick and choose the right materials, and we start the crafting process that, as I mentioned, takes around 2 weeks to complete every time we get an order.
And all your operations are in Portugal?
All our operations are in Portugal. We have a very well-developed footwear industry in Portugal, and part of it is, of course, to boost the Portuguese economy. But another one is to also have very much control of the components, the quality of the workforce. For us, it was very important to make it in ethical workshops, meaning that have a positive working culture, that treat their employees adequately with adequate salaries and working conditions, because for us it's very important to pay attention to who's making what we're actually selling. So we made a point of doing it in Portugal.
Well, I went through the full experience, probably I would say about 5 months ago now, and I got the shoe design done, and I waited, and I got the box, the shipment, and I'm telling you, Zhao, it's pure delight. Like, you've created such a good customer experience. I wore those shoes, and they were perfect. They were perfect, and I just loved every part of it, and it brings me so much joy to now sort of be talking about this experience, this experience of personalizing something that I wear daily, uh, and to be able to bring that into the world of Web3. So let's
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that. So before we go into that, I want to understand, what was your first encounter with Web3? How did you get into it?
Okay. So just to address your positive experience, thank you for the such positive comments. I do think that that's the reason why we existed, is to really make every individual feel good about themselves and to materialize one's tastes and preferences in a pair of sneakers that you can wear every day. The feeling you got once you got them is exactly the feeling that we want everyone to get. This idea that I am an individual with preferences. I don't care what the market offers. I can do my own thing and I can use them as a symbol of my individuality every day. That has been always at the core of the brand. And that's how, once I started to hear, and we as a team started to hear about Web3, we got really, really interesting. Because a lot in the Web3 about the decentralization, the NFT platform of uniqueness, provable uniqueness, was something that was conceptually very aligned with what we wanted to do. And once we started to research, I mean, we are a fairly senior team for a startup, and we got our hands dirty in reading stuff and understanding. We saw this tremendous opportunity, which was we didn't get into this because of the hype, because of all the buzz that was having around Web3. What we thought was that there were tools now made available for projects such as Diverge to really fulfill a promise of decentralization and transparency, right? So we started to see several components of Web3, both philosophically but also software based, that could really help us take the promise forward. The first one was, of course, the whole logic behind NFTs, right? We could start thinking about fulfilling a promise that we had in our mind, but we had never talked to our community about it, which was, how can we make you as a creator also part owner of the creation you made with us, right? 3 years ago, when we had the idea, this would be a hassle. How do I make a contract with you, Nick, in the Bay Area? How do I make a contract with someone in Germany, in India? How do I go about it? What legal entity do I use? What type of contract do I create? Later on, once you earn royalties from your creation, what do I transfer to you? Like what currency, at what exchange rate? For a small company like ours, this was a operational nightmare. And we saw in NFT exactly one of the opportunities to kind of implement that idea. If we can use the NFT as a symbol, a proof of ownership, and state on it the rights you have as the owner of that NFT, we can then start a complete different conversation. And that's, for example, how we saw the NFT as a platform to really fulfill our promise of a brand that wants to put you in the center of it, right? It also allows to work with artists, and that's something that we very much treasure. The ability to provide, I mean, NFTs is incredible, and you at NftyDreams are exactly doing that, empowering artists from all over the world that until now probably had this long journey of trying to create art, to convince someone to put it in a gallery so it's seen by more people, and so on and so on, and now have this amazing infrastructure that allows them to present themselves to the world and find customers for their art, right? We at Diverge want to not piggyback, but join that effort by giving within sneakers an additional canvas for those artists to put their art in. And that's why we launched the collaboration with a Portuguese artist. And actually now in our website, you can actually submit your work, and we evaluate it if we can put it within, integrated into our sneaker collection. So we create a collaboration with an artist, obviously always providing a royalty for their work and for their efforts, and hopefully create something unique, an opportunity for artists to have an additional canvas to put their art on. This is the Portuguese artist that we work with, Frederico, and he basically created 4 pieces and created a whole video about each piece with its own meaning. And it's been an incredible experience that we now want to replicate. Again, only possible because of NFTs, right? Because now we can provide, together with the pair of sneakers that integrates art, integrated NFT that also can be purchased by a collector, right? And then at a later stage, and that's further down the road, we also want to, just like you guys are doing in NftyDreams, we want to create a DAO. And I also want to learn from our experience with you, because we want to be a brand that allows for input from the community. Not only in the future evaluating which artists should we be collaborating first, which artists should be launched first, but which styles to develop, which colors to launch, which new materials to procure, and ultimately which new categories to expand the brand to. We really want, and that's again to sum up the opportunity we see in Web3, this amazing change in paradigm that really allows us to give power to our community as we grow the brand.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, this quite a journey, and I really like that you plunged into it despite the risks involved. I mean, as a sneaker sort of company, this is a very bold move, and I commend you on that. And I really like the experiment you've done with art. Clearly, it looks like you guys had some fun, but produced something that is very meaningful and very interesting. Honestly, the first time we spoke, I was still sort of thinking about the NftyDreams business model. I knew that what is there right now, which is artists going to online marketplaces, listing their work, minting their work, and then spending their time on marketing and sales and social media promotion. That's a form that's never going to scale, because you cannot expect artists to do all those things. And also, you reach a saturation point. So I was grappling for a business model. I'm like, what is it? And the moment we had a conversation, the light bulb went off, and I said, retail personalization with licensing revenue. I'm like, that is the huge opening for artists that completely blows away anything they're doing right now with marketplace. So recurring license revenue is the way to go. And once that thought came to my mind, everything else about this DAO just fell into place really well, because now I had a clear vision that there are lots and lots of retail products out there that should be personalized, but they're not, just because no one has attempted to figure out how to do that at scale and still make money. But that doesn't mean it's not possible. Technology is evolving, and we can do that. You're proving it. You're proving that it's possible. So I am super grateful to you for that aha moment for me, which really has led us to here. And one of the big challenges right now that we are going through is, we are putting this DAO together. We've got a lot of artist support, thousands of them. And part of our journey right now is educating artists, because the world they live in right now, it consists of creating an artwork and then deciding which marketplace to put it on and whether to mint one of one or editions, right? And then comes the hard part: days, weeks, months of just trying to promote that listing. And we're going to flip that equation, and we are making it where the artist will essentially consign their work to the DAO, and the DAO will have partnerships with companies such as yours and make the art flow out into the world and have the artists just focus on creating art and nothing else, so that is what I'm like super excited about. Now, in this experiment that you did, uh, this was kind of a curated experience, right? You found a great artist, you work with them, etc. Now, one of the things that we want to do as a DAO, and I'm really excited about this, is figure out a model where we can take the art that is consigned to us by the artists, and then perhaps uh, even have some kind of automation or templatized approach where even before they create the art, before they consign it, they have these templates they work with and customize the art for some of the shoe templates, etc. You think something like that would be possible?
Absolutely, absolutely. We are able to submit basically the key elements of the sneaker where the artists will be able to create and play around in. And basically, once they come up with something that they think is a piece that represents them, they can just submit it already in that template, and we can then work much more quickly into implementing it in one hand, and to also optimize and work together with the artist once the time comes. Absolutely, absolutely. That's basically what we do. So basically, in this case, Fred had designs, had ideas, but then he had pieces that he was able to figure out how to incorporate the art and make it work.
Yeah.
So it's not like random every time one of these sneakers produce. It's not random where the pieces end up. No, everything is figured out, so they come out in the exact place that it was defined for them to be. It does require work from our end because, for example, the smaller sizes to the bigger sizes, the art needs to keep expanding and growing, so it's proportionate and it's always more or less in the same place.
Sure.
Does require work. It's not a complete automated process, but that's part of the work we will do with the artists that collaborate with us.
Yeah, and
it's not up to the artist. It's not up to the artist to figure that out. We will take care of that.
Yeah, and we can write software to automate some of that also.
Ultimately.
Yeah. So one other interesting thing, which I think our audience will be very interested in hearing about, is the fact that we are also very drastically changing the minting model. Artists right now mint first. They mint and then they start selling, etc. And here the model is to mint at the point of sale, which I think is great because it can scale infinitely. Instead of pre-deciding that I'm going to make 1 edition or 20 edition or 100, let the market decide. If you got a popular design and 1,000 people want to come and buy today, that's great, And so that's another thing I love. So in your existing NFT implementation right now, the focus is on the buyer, the end user customer of yours who has created a design, and you are NFTizing that so that the next person who buys that same kind of thing, the person who created that original one gets a royalty. Is that correct?
Royalty. Correct. Basically, cool. Is trying to not only turn you as a customer, but also as a stakeholder of Diverge, of someone that is invested in our success and in our future. So what better way to do it? So not only that you create something that is yours, but of which you can earn royalties in the future. So basically, what we launched last week was this opportunity that as you customize, as you go into the flow that you were doing earlier with the yellow and red sneaker. We can try that again. You now not only can choose, you can pick any style. For example, the minimal high. The minimal high and the twist high are, for artists, very interesting because they provide a wider canvas to work on. And that's why we've been, for example, right now you cannot do it because it's a pre-designed model, so we don't have NFTs for that. But if you start changing some elements, just change the color of the laces or of the sides or the sole, anything you can change. Just change something, and move for another panel. Now you can go into NFT in the lower right corner.
There we go.
And now we invite you to say, if you want to buy for an extra $120 the NFT, a few things will happen. So first and foremost, you'll get an NFT that we will create considering your colors. So you'll get a unique NFT. The 3D development is made by us, where we use the colors of your sneaker and put it into this globe sphere element we created with the colors that you chose. So it's very coordinate, right? I can then show you an example. And then that NFT works as a proof of ownership and entitles you to a royalty of 10% every time this sneaker gets sold in our website in perpetuity. And that and other benefits like eternal discount code, let's call it like that, and access to premium launches before anyone else, and also a later permanent role in the DAO.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And so in our partnership, what we are going to work on is essentially extending this to hundreds, hopefully thousands of artists, where potentially, in addition to the colors, they have a gallery of artworks that they can choose from and apply that. And then we have to figure out the royalty split for the artist and the user, and do that. But that seems like it's a fairly straightforward process. We agree on some numbers, we create some tech, and we can make this happen very rapidly, I believe.
Yeah, I think we're absolutely. I think for artists, we are taking this a step further, which for now, at least, we don't allow customers, for example, to upload patterns that they have designed or that they like. We don't have that available. And we are making that available to artists to work together with us to develop those patterns and put it on sale. It's obviously something that we can discuss with the artists later on and with NftyDreams is, should we allow for customization of that? But that we need to agree with the artist, because we don't want to, for example, with Fred, we don't allow the sneaker to be of other color because it basically is interfering with the art that Frederico developed, right? Yeah. So we have to be considerate of, or we try to be considerate of the artist. If the artist wants that to happen, that can happen as well. It's something that we can work out. But yeah, basically,
I really love that, because it gives the opportunity for people, for artists, for example, if they are creating a painting or something, it doesn't lend itself very well to just changing colors at random. But if it's digital art from the get-go, it's SVG, then the artist might even provide a palette and say, okay, here are 3 different palettes to consider, or something like that, right?
Absolutely. Or a pattern that can just work in any type of color. That can also be worked at. That's very important. If there's something for the artists that are listening to us that I would very much like them to take home, is that we'll be always extremely respectful of what you as an artist wish to accomplish. We don't demand anything in terms of flexibility of the art. You tell us what you would like to do. We see if it fits with the brand values of Diverge. Most probably it will. And then it's very much about respecting the artist. And you talked about royalties and things like that. We tend to be very mindful of rewarding the artist. For example, in the case of Federico, the NFT, basically 90% of the value of the NFT goes to Federico. So it's not like we want to really provide a canvas for artists. We want to cover our costs. We want to take a little bit of the revenue generated, but it's very much about rewarding the artist. It's about using us. I go back to the original purpose of Diverge, to empower the individual, in this case, the artist, to self-express. In this case, going beyond choosing the colors and writing something, but to actually incorporate a piece of art into our sneakers.
Yeah. One of the things that I have been doing in the artist community quite a bit now, which a lot of people seem to like, is running challenges, contests. So I can see us every season, and a season for the DAO is a quarter, every season having a sneaker design challenge. We put it out there, every artist submits it, and then we have sort of a nice group of a mixed group of individuals, perhaps art curators, customers, maybe creatives in the industry, etc., be the judging panel and choose some of those, so that every season we have a new set of fresh, really awesome designs that the artists in the world have competed, and the best of the best make it on there, and they go they become available here. I think that would be a great kind of workflow that we can experiment with. But more
Absolutely.
importantly, you know uh, that's the inbound work, that's the sort of outbound workflow. The inbound workflow for the artist is, I think, the most exciting part. Zhao, as you may have read from our plan, the DAO's mission is to make it possible for every artist in the world to make a meaningful living and income through their art. And this partnership here represents the first, and I think most impactful, if you will, foray for artists into the retail personalization space. And once we do this, we can start doing it for all kinds of other interesting products. And I really sincerely hope we'll meet founders like you, who are like just so passionate and so driven with the Web3 ethos, because like you are living and breathing it, and so this partnership is just so cool. I really like it. And I'm looking at your website with the features that you just put up. It's pretty cool. I really like how simple it is. It's like, and this is something that I have been saying again and again. We are not going to get people at scale in crypto unless the user experience is just drop dead simple. And here it is, right? It's just a button, like any, like customize the soul and click an NFT. It's like so simple.
Yeah, you scroll down, you have some screenshots of the 3D composition that we make, and basically it's a video that becomes the NFT, a video of your creation with the colors that you use in your sneaker. So there you have 3 screenshots. Absolutely, that's very much part of what we want to do, is also somehow bring the opportunities of Web3 to the masses, to people that probably were too scared or think it's too complex. So that they can get into the space. As I mentioned, we didn't get into this because we thought it was cool or it was the buzz of the moment or of the quarter or of the semester. We embraced Web3. We actually thought that something of what is happening right now, which is kind of a bear market and a lot of, but would happen just like it would happen for us that are a little bit older when it happened with the internet in the end of the 90s, right? A lot of stuff disappeared, but the paradigm still changed, and that's what I believe. The paradigm has changed. Now we're in this process of optimizing, of really creating value propositions that stand out and that stand the test of time, and that's why we embraced it. It was not about what's going on right now, if it's going up or down. It makes sense. It's going to change the way things work, and we want to be at the forefront of that.
Yeah, you know what they say, the bear market is the best time to build because all the riffraff is gone. Like the true builders are here because it doesn't matter whether the market is up or down. We are here. We are here to create value. We're here to make the world a better place, and it doesn't matter if the market's up or down. So yeah, this is really really exciting. So what I want to do now is kind of tell the audience a little bit about why this project is important in the big scheme of things. So NftyDreams DAO is about innovation. What we want to do is run this DAO like an incubator. Silicon Valley, where I am, has made this like picture perfect. They have done it so many times now. So an incubator is basically an organization which runs a series of experiments concurrently at the same time, but in the form of businesses. So what we are going to do with the DAO is have a few projects that we work with at the DAO level. So Diverge Sneakers is one of them. We have only 4 this first season, and then we are raising in the drop that we are going to do called the Renaissance NFT drop. We are raising $5.5 million, and a large portion of that, 1.25 million, in fact, is allocated to artists to submit their own project ideas, and we'll fund them and we'll provide them marketing resources, sales, technology, and all these resources, and make these projects grow from a fledgling idea into maybe a real monetization model for NFTs. So I'm super excited about that. So a little bit about our drop. So we have two drops. The first drop is coming up on August 25th, and that one is targeting artists. So it's called the Dreamers NFT that you'll be able to acquire on that day. And you can see the link in the ticker. It's www.nftd.io/premint. So if you go to that link right now, you will be able to join the allow list so that on August 25th, you can get one of those Dreamer NFTs. Now, I want to talk a little bit about why those Dreamer NFTs are important for you. First, we are organized as a DAO. And for those of you who don't know, a DAO is sort of a solution to the centralized problems that companies have. Power and wealth are concentrated among very few people in a company. But in a DAO, the power and the wealth are distributed among the members of the DAO. So NftyDreams DAO is a collective of artists. It's not a business. It's not a platform. It's not a PFP project for sure, but it is an organization that is aggregating artists from all over the world so that we can figure out new and interesting ways to use art and NFTs to make money for artists. That's basically the base foundational mission that we have. So with this Dreamer NFT, when you acquire it on the 25th, the cost is $25. So it's pretty economical for 1 year. Holding that NFT gives you the right to vote on just about everything the DAO does. So all DAO business. So as an example, let's say that we are ready to move forward with the Diverge sneaker partnership program, and it's time to figure out what will be the model by which art gets into a gallery that a customer might see. Well, we want to obviously have lots of input from Diverge on that, but in the DAO, the artist can vote and say that we want a model that is a contest, or you can say we want a model that is, basically merit-based or reputation-based or things like that. We can vote on that and make that decision. This is not my decision. This is not Joao's decision. This is our decision as Dreamer NFT holders, which is artists. So that's one thing. The second thing is I talked about the $1.25 million earlier. So you will be able to apply for projects if you hold the Dreamer NFT. So that's a really important benefit. Third, we're going to have lots of events, real life events, virtual events, metaverse events, and you will go to the front of the line if you hold a Dreamer NFT. Fourth, we are going to have an airdrop of the NftyD token. This token will be coming very, very soon after the drop, like literally within a week or two. And you will have, for each Dreamer NFT you hold, you will have 870 tokens airdrop to you. Now, why is that token important? Well, that token is important because as this DAO grows, we are going to have lots of partners. We are going to have lots of relationships with galleries, museums, businesses like Diverge Sneakers, etc. And all of them will have, in some form, either through a grant or either through purchase, the NftyD token. And what we want to do is align everyone's incentive. We want everyone to be collaborating to make that NftyD token valuable. So if we are all working together, I do not see any way in which that would not happen. So that token is going to be really, really valuable. So those are sort of the benefits. And we hope that you will, if you're an artist, that you will go sign up for the pre-mint. You can also find us on Twitter. It's NftyDreams. And also in our Twitter tweets today, we have linked out to Diverge Sneakers. You can go check it out, but it's diverge-sneakers.com. You can go check it out. So before we kind of wrap this up, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your sneaker choice personally. Like, what style have you personalized, and do you have the art sneaker or something else?
Okay, that's a great question. Well, basically, I have 2 or 3 go-to sneakers depending on the occasion. Let's say if I'm kind of going into like business meetings on more on the professional level, I tend to use the minimal, either minimal high or minimal low, because it's a nice way to feel comfortable on the move, but still be very versatile in the occasion where I am. And then on my time off, I tend to be more sporty, more active. So I like the now and the twist because it allows for a more sporty type of activity. But it's a fun thing because it's actually extremely fun to think about. Okay, where am I going to be using more? What values do you want to convey? So, for example, the minimal sneakers that I use, I convey messages for myself about striving, believing, which kind of try to empower me or empower myself as an entrepreneur of keeping up with the work, keeping up with the challenges, and I try to inspire myself by what I write in the sneakers. And then for the fun bit, it's more about who I am and what I am as a personality.
That's amazing. So we're gonna take a couple of comments from the audience. I see at least one here. So earlier you were talking about really satisfying your customers, and here's Fools with Dreams who says, "Dope interactive storefront. Gonna get a whole crew pairs." So there you go. You got some new customers today. That's amazing. It's really cool to for people to immediately see the value proposition you have here. So I think that's great. So if anyone else has any comments, you can post them here. You can always tweet and to the NftyDreams Twitter account, and we'll be happy to connect you and answer your questions. All right. So I think we've about covered it. I think for us, the next steps are to get this Renaissance drop done so the DAO can have the capital it needs. And then I think it's full steam ahead. We'll just start collaborating with you and start getting this plan in place where artists can start creating amazing sneaker artwork, and we'll figure out a way how we can get it going. Okay, I see another comment coming in. Let's try and answer that here. So Martin asks, do you have the facility to upload art, or is it something to come? So yeah, I mean, this is something that we'll be collaborating on. You want to answer that also?
Yeah, basically, it's in the pipeline. It's in the roadmap to have that feature. But for the time being, in our collaboration with NftyDreams, what we'll have is that we will receive the art and work together with the artists. So not an automatic facility to upload art, but we will facilitate the drawings of the sneakers, which enables the artists to work with. And then, of course, they have direct access to us and our creative team.
Yeah, and I might add to that what we want to do also is perhaps make a pipeline for it, because you see, the DAO is going to have a consignment model. We are going to have art already in. So it might well be that the DAO acts as the intermediary to handle some of the curation, etc., so that the artwork that comes to Diverge is ready. It's ready to go straight online and be available. So I envision a pipeline like that, where we've handled the uploading part, etc., but we also have the contract, etc., in place, smart contracts, right, I should say, so that the royalties, etc., are appropriately distributed. But that's a great question. All right, so with that, let's wrap it up here. Thank you so much, Joao. As always, it's a pleasure to speak to you, and I'm just looking forward to this collaboration. It's so exciting. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's also a pleasure for me to always speak with you and your team, and we can't wait to get this going.
Yep, and to everybody, dream on and dream big. We'll see you around. Bye-bye.